Anyway. So, we have a fight. We got ambushed again. And so, we've been ambushed. Start the battle. That's not me. It's not me either. Sorry, Abelard. He's a mean murderer.
Took care of this one.
Needs more fire. Heretics. In Romania for 3 more weeks due to catching COVID and sharing it with your aunt and grandmother. Now I finally got back home to Switzerland. My aunt caught the damn thing here yesterday. Use cover to avoid enemy attacks. Cover blah blah blah. So I can sit behind cover and nuke everything this way. I hope. So, you want to burn.
I will triumph.
Who should we boost? Voice of command. 1 friendly creature within 10 cells. Increase their characteristics by 13 for 1 round. Sure. Can we do that one on you?
I won't waste my time on that.
Oh, I can't. I can only do 1 of those. My turn is over. Really short total flight distance with 1 stop. Isn't the distance from Romania to Switzerland like walking distance?
I've suffered worse.
The grandmother helping her on that.
This'll leave a scar.
What's he going way over there for? That's why he's going way over there. Taking them out 2 at a time. He just kills and kills stuff. Positive effect. Your character has received a temporary positive effect from an ally. Such effects can enhance the character's stuff. So, what enhancement would that be? Kill them. Plus 50 to ballistic skill that I don't really have. You know what? Should I fund your next walk? But you have to walk from Switzerland to Romania. Seeing that I can barely walk across the street, I don't think that would be a very good investment on your part. Who wants to burn? That guy wants to burn.
What a satisfying demise.
Just a minor setback.
How'd you like this?
Seven hours of waiting for basically 2 hours of travel time. Sounds about right. Theodora waves her hand in a commanding gesture. Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single Horson survive. That's being mean. The rogue trader turns her eyes to you. Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst into the deck. Not bad. I have seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them that much more vulnerable to harsh realities of warp travel. She looks at the Vox in her hand. All you can hear is lifeless static. What's happening? From what we have seen, I can speculate that we are dealing with some variety of madness induced by warp travel. Says Abelard. He's astonishingly calm for someone who just survived a sudden attack. Such episodes are not uncommon among voidsmen who have found themselves outside the boundaries of real space, though such episodes seldom spill onto other decks. Theodora clicks her Vox a few times. Casters are not working, or have been sabotaged. Either the warp is toying with us, or someone went to great lengths to cut the ship's communications. I would need a direct channel to the Engine Seer Prime before I can get a sense of what we are up against. Whatever it may be, keep your weapons at the ready. I imagine it will be some time before we no longer need them. How could there be armed people in the ranks of the crew who would dare attack the Lord Captain? The incident with the rampaging servitors may be connected to what is transpiring now. Possibly, quite likely, she says. She winces and flicks a switch on her box a few times. We will investigate at a later time. Right now we need to isolate the affected compartments and try to assess the situation. How could there be armed people in the ranks of the crew who dare attack the Lord Captain? Seneschal gives you a gloomy look. Trust me, Gimpy, this is hardly surprising for a crew of thousands. Lower decks are a fertile environment for discontent and heresy, no matter how one tries to incinerate any seed before it can take root. All it takes is a hint of warp influence to cloud the minds of normally obedient cattle. Sporadic riots on the lower decks never reach these compartments, Theodora's anger causes the Seneschal to shrink slightly. No, the tumults of the rabble are always contained within their own territory. This is too well organized. It is spreading too rapidly. Hey, Taka, welcome back. Happy Thursday. What are your orders? She breaks eye contact with you. Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the arch-militant requires aid, and be quick about it. But, not that way. Do I even have a gun? I do. I have a wimpy little stub revolver. Good thing I don't try to use it. Orphanage Series request for cargo transfer there. I see an alert about a loss of communication within Dexa 812. There's no loot.
Embrace true power.
I have a tool that will allow me to check the status of the distant compartments that are out of Vox contact, but we have to wait for Mort's results first. Mort, where'd you go, Mort? Did Mort go this way? I think he went this way.
Intriguing.
Found something. Conrad, blah blah blah. Let's out a sigh of relief upon seeing you. Thank Providence you are alive and well. Always on time, eh, Conrad, says Mort. The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it. Conrad pointedly looks away from the arch-militant to you. Mort, pull yourself together. The arch-militant looks back at you. What did the Lord Captain send you to Chivius? What? Did the Lord Captain send you to Chivius along? We are all done here. I'll report right away. Mort pulls his Vox from the belt and hurriedly reports the situation. Theodora, Master whispers, what's happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent, the Voxmaster is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant had just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report. I have not yet received word from the Engineerium regarding any Geller field failures, but communications were already stable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I'm receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. He pauses. That the madman have already reached the officer deck suggests that this outage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny. Mutiny? But who would attempt to mutiny here in the warp? Mutiny against the Emperor's anointed? Execute the traitors, every last one of them. You must provide immediate assistance to those still on the middle decks. Perhaps then we can stop this wave from spreading. This is indeed a severe case of warp madness, and the situation is dire. Who would attempt mutiny here in the warp? Lunatics, fools, heretics. This ship houses thousands upon thousands of people. Copernicus' thoughts and warp-induced delusions could have tainted any one of them. It is a difficult notion to accept, but such risks are inescapable. First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure, and I have the means to do both things at once. Her expression changes as her eyes flash ominously. She looks at Voigtgear. Elderthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assaulted by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons. Conrad, I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movement is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18. Last hit, Master of the Whisperers. Find Elderthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Class and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Archmilitant, with me. I must go to my study, and it appears that we might encounter heretics along the way. Gimpy. Theodore glances at you thoughtfully. If I may, Lord Captain. Vaultveers, was it Voigtveers? Voigtveers. Voice is soft and cautious. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Edelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I am not as adept at directly confronting enemies on the house as at directly confronting enemies of the house as the esteemed Archmilitant, and taking into consideration Elderthrad's psyker powers. Theodore, then it's settled. Gimpy, find Elderthrad and bring him here. In whatever state you find him, this elevator, she points at the massive doors, leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I regard you both. Do you understand? Whatever state, what does that mean? I hear and obey, Lord Captain. I shall do everything in my power. Can I promise that I won't lose out our dearest heir somewhere along the way? I hear and obey. She waves a hand patiently, then move out. Mort, come. Dum, dum, dum. Conrad, are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk, and you do not even have the proper gear. I shall make do lead the way. I have a proposition. Since I am the more important person here, you can go in the front to shield me from potential threats. You had better not fail me. The Lord Captain made it clear that I'm relying on you. Is fraught with risk. I shall make do. Lead the way. Of course you will. He rummages in his pocket for something. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs, but that is no longer relevant. The pop and a sharp crackle, something hits you in the abdomen, and you are consumed by unbearable, gut-wrenching pain. There's our traitor. I promised you a special destiny, Gimpy. It is time to fulfill it. I don't want to do destiny stuff. I just want to be a loser, sitting in a bar drinking beer all day. That's what they do in the future, isn't it? So I must say, I am somewhat disappointed that there's not more voice acting. I was hoping for much more voice acting. In this day and age, there should be more. Especially for games like this. There's too much reading. There's way too much reading. Not that reading is bad, it's just I don't want to have to do it on stream.
Careful, careful.
Here we go.
Be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warrant Chamber. And for that, I need him breathing. Oh, you are back with us, I see. Delightful.
What is the meaning of us? Miss
You must
this.
have hit your head harder than I thought. No matter. Very little is required of you. Just your blood, which you can either share of your own volition, or I will spill it for you.
Hey, let's welcome back. You don't have to lie to us. We all know reading is bad. Reading is actually good for you. Keep your brain fresh. Chat has no voice acting. Do we disappoint you as well? Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
We are in the anteroom of the Warren Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel. An ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel.
I don't want to. And he called her Theodora. He called her Theodora. It's Theodora, isn't it? Why are you doing this? What is it, inbred? Is your blood too thin for the Sentinel? Use your psychic powers against Vault. My gear. Yes. You close your eyes and try to focus, and then you feel the touch of something sharp. He is somehow sensed the shift in the warp and delivered a preemptive strike. So he's a psyker too. Skill tests and dialogues. Got it. The blade flashes in the dim light and drops of blood appear on your palm. For a brief moment, you feel nauseous as your head is spinning, and then quiet whispers begin to flood your mind. More and more sourceless voices echo each other, drowning out your own thoughts, replacing them with a singular urge. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. Fight the voice in your head. Get out. I am not your puppet. The voices in your head giggle and mock your desperate outcry. You feel this intruding influence forcing you out to your feet and making you take a step toward the gates, looming in the center of the chamber. I don't want to go. So much for being a psyker. Ugh. In the gateway arch, you see a cogitator with a human likeness built into the front panel. As you approach, the torso twitches slightly. This is a servitor, an obedient automaton created from a lobotomized human being. The Sentinel turns its head to you, one of its eye sockets lighting up with two ember-like irises. Tech use 45. Chance is 95%, or 90%. Succeeded. You carefully inspect the design of the gate cogitator. What immediately catches your eye is a strange alloy that was used as the material for the machine's components, some of which are unfamiliar to you. You suspect this might be some kind of archaeotech relic. Gain 20 experience. Servitor of the gate begins to move. With the screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward closer to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The vid screen to the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. A whisper runs through your consciousness, demanding sacrifice. The voices that filled your head after void gear wounded you with this blade did not go away. On the contrary, the source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind. For anything that could be used as a weapon. You look around in the hopes of finding at least something that could work as a weapon. Your search is in vain. The chamber anteroom is completely empty and in perfect working condition. Nary a broken panel or a protruding piece of rebar is in sight. Examine the Sentinel. The servitor looks noticeably different from the ones you are used to. Its skin covering is stitched together with copper thread. It has metal hinges in place of the standard joints. It seems that the creators of the Sentinel did everything to ensure that the service life of this one unit would be much longer than those of ordinary automatons. Look back.
Did you forget something? I suggest you hurry.
Sentinel's jaws clamp down in your hand, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall onto the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear humming as the servo motors start up and the pumps stir into motion. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Dum dum dum. Several long minutes pass. The Sentinel's jaws remain closed, and you are beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath, maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this ever happened.
High levels of caustic humus. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
You do not understand where this quiet voice is coming from, crackling like static. Is it the Sentinel, the Cogitator? Is it a figment of your wary mind? Whichever it is, you can clearly hear every word. Who is this?
Genetic code identified. Child of House von Valancius. Do you require assistance?
You hear a displeased grunt in your mind, as if the lurking entity has sensed something that is not to its liking. Yes, Sentinel, traitors threaten my life and the safety of the Warren. Pain shoots through your head and subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do you any real harm.
Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
It's gonna suck to be you guys. I should have been standing there.
Well, there is still another way.
And the door still opens. Enormous gates match the importance of the thing they protect. The massive doors are made of heavy metal and it's not here. Wow. Okay.
The world will bow.
Let it be known that my will and by the true words of this document I appoint this person to be the bearer of the warrant. Oh, that's going by way too fast. To be the paragon of humanity unbroken by adversity. It's going way too fast. Steadily through the thorns, through pain to greatness. Roasted, toasted, burnt to a crisp. Yep.
Escort the child of the house to safety.
What madness is happening here? Who are you? Who dresses me? Need to contact someone, preferably Theodora.
Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection.
Place of mechanical screeching in the server skull's Vox projects the voice of Theodora von V, distorted and ridden with static, yet still recognizable beyond a doubt. Voxmaster, restore communication with the Navigator's Sanctum. I am trying to contact a bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head.
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection.
Need a weapon. I'm utterly defenseless.
Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations.
Server skull goes silent, its relays clicking. Second after second passes, and you realize that the server skull will not answer you. What madness is happening here? Who are you? Who addresses me?
Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel standing by.
Are you the Warrant Sentinel?
Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by.
Lead me away from here.
Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured.
Fine. Journal. So, quest journal. This thing. So, standard stuff.
I tread a path unexplored.
Fight cephalously and lower not your bloodied arms to the last something, something, something. Still no loot. So he didn't actually tell me where to go, did he?
Seize the opportunity.
Seal the warrant chamber. No one must reach the warrant. Simple order to the sentinel cogitator will lock the chamber. Okay, then. Seal this thing. Just opt out of being a service go, or is that not an option? It wasn't an option.
Master. What? Whatever are you doing in the warrant chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me. What is the meaning of this?
Comrade Voitka is a traitor. When we parted ways on the officer's deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here.
What?
It's a bug. It's a bug that you can't be a servitor. Or a servo skull. He intended to take revenge on Theodora for something, and trying to reach the warrant was somehow part of the plan.
Oh, holy God, Emperor. I presume he is the one responsible for the mutiny. And, Master, I wish to remind you that you are to refer to the Lord Captain as Lady Theodora.
He openly admitted that he is the mastermind behind the mutiny. Questionably, so it would seem, but he is not here. We have a mutiny to end. Why don't we leave matters to etiquette for another time? For a mere seneschal, you are asking too many questions. He openly admitted that he is a mastermind behind the mutiny.
Saints' blood! Then it is small wonder that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal the passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels. But now I see the real reason. It was to stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you are alive, and now safe, Master. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster. You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And, for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Here.
He hands me stuff. Look, it's treating injuries and doing inventory stuff. Sword. Yeah, I don't think I can do either one of those really. I guess I could. Stub revolver. I guess I should keep that. Oh, look, armor. Doesn't change your appearance, though.
I will not stoop to this.
No. I can't use this. Why not? Can't be equipped by this character. Medicae or field medic or base skill Medicae. So I don't have those skills? Really? It's listed right there. What are you? You can guess those. Okay, weapons, yes. Just between party members, yeah, I just did that.
We are the spearhead of the Imperial.
He's supposed to heal me.
Sometimes you
There is a fervor in my soul.
Old injury. Injury that wasn't healed in time. It can be healed with a med kit.
look no further. Let me help. That is a noticeable improvement. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead.
Am I?
The lower decks are teeming with heretics
Am I
instigating
really?
the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on. But that is not the worst of it. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the Navigator and the Master Helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the Navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive.
What exactly has gone wrong with the translation?
I am no helmsman. Oh, God Emperor preserve me, Navigator. However, I have spent my entire life aboard void ships equipped with warp drives, and I know that portents such as these do not bode well. It could be that the Geller field has faltered. Perhaps the Navigator was struck down by warp corruption and is fighting for the last shreds of his humanity as we speak. If we get thrown off course, we will be forever lost in the war. Naturally, we would likely not have long to live in that scenario. But I will not resign myself to such an outcome just yet.
How did you find me?
You sent me a Vox message. Specifically, a Vox cast on the officer's frequency, which I had the good fortune to receive. You mean to say you did no such thing?
I think the Warren Sentinel may have sent that message. It appeared when I opened the chamber.
Warren Sentinel? The Lord Captain barely ever ventures down to the chamber, and I was at her side only once or twice when she did. And I did not see anything of the sort. The Warren Chamber is an ancient and rather sacred mechanism that the ship's tech priests treat with the utmost reverence. I assume that whatever it is that you did, you must have activated certain processes and caused the Sentinel to awaken. But then, why did none of it happen when Lady Theodora did the same?
Because I'm special, apparently. I'm going to be a mythic angel at some point, I think. Oh, what can we expect to find in the Navigator's Sanctum?
During warp transit, the Sanctum is closed to all who are not involved in traversing the Imperium. And for good reason. For the Navigator to open their third eye and perceive the way, the Sanctum must be bathed in the energies of the Immaterium. Only a Navigator can withstand such an ordeal. For the rest of us, any contact with the warp is fraught with perils such as loss of sanity, spontaneous mutations, and death.
Does not bat an eye as he lists off the horrors that you are about to face. I don't know if I could take such a risk. I heard one of Theodora's Voxcasts, and Navigator's Sanctum very well. Will you lead the way? Return humanity, lead the way. I heard one of her Voxcasts.
Lady Theodora's. Which one? The last one I received was about the Navigator's Sanctum, and that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well, and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course.
Navigator's Sanctum, very well. Will you lead the way?
Absolutely. Let us proceed.
To arms, loyal sons of daughters of the God Emperor. Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home, and with all your might destroy those who have dared.
The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward! Close ranks!
I'll bleed you dry.
They always say that. Okay, so tactical phase, so we get to place our people at the start, right? So, put you there. Gimpy. You don't have to get very close. You can burn them from far away. But not that far away. There's no cover around here. So, this is good. He's good at his job. Abelard's abilities. Your new companion is a warrior. Abelard specializes in melee combat and drawing the enemy's attacks. Charges a unique warrior ability that works only when they are using melee weapon and is not considered an attack action. Use charge to close the distance between you and the enemy and deal damage. Blah blah blah. This character is using a melee weapon. Melee weapons up to her stuff. So he'll be fine. So cleave? Or just regular strike? Cleave it is, because guess what? You can hit both of them.
Indeed.
He parried. Cheating bastard. Charge. What's this? Brace for impact for 1 round. Their allies and 3 rounds. Blah, blah, blah. Deflection for each archetype. Okay. Straight line, it launches a melee attack against any target in the warrior's path. That guy? That guy. Yeah, let's go after that. Is that gonna work? It's not gonna work. Too far. Too far.
At your beck and call.
Next opportunity. Yeah. Needs more movement.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Abilities, combat abilities of characters different from each archetype. Yep. We can either boost him or we're gonna start burning people. Screw boosting. Start burning.
Ravage and conquer.
I can use it on him. So boosting his stats for a turn. I think that's what I did.
Death shall reign.
Oh, he already died. How convenient.
Brace yourself, lad.
Can't charge. So, cleave.
I will do my duty. You a target.
Why is it the second one parrying?
I took care of this one.
That worked though. Oh, the initiative thing's over here. Burn that
I
guy.
need your guidance.
I've suffered worse. Just a minor setback.
Okay, actually, can you do cleave? Get both of them? Sure can. Sucks to be though.
Victory is imminent. Reduced to dust.
Okay, experience points. Yay. And looks like we leveled up even. More importantly, did we get loot? And collecting loot. Cargo. So, a laser pistol, or last pistol, sorry. Rate of firing range is better with the pistol he has. Ammo is the advantage on the last pistol, though. But it only does bursts. Armor penetration 5 and 15. So we'll keep that. Swords are swords, so always add to cargo zone. Add to cargo. So I forget it. Okay, so this is the cargo here. So cargo is basically you collect so many things, I think, and I guess you just click that button. There we go. It's a cargo list. Okay, so 10%, 60%. So we get so many of these 10 items, and it becomes a cargo crate type thing that you can sell later, I think. I forget. It's been a while. Didn't even check his stuff. He's just got a sword, right? Oh, leveling up. Okay, let's level up. So, archetypes. Gimpy is an officer. He's got 1 rank available. Not much of a choice. Choose a skill. So, persuasion, commerce, coercion, carouse, lore, imperium, lore, war. thumbing up the persuasion and commerce. Let's do persuasion first. Because he does have a little bit of fellowship. Where's the character's talent to manipulate other people through negotiation? Or should we do commerce? Make profitable bargains may give access to new dialogue options. Does this one do it? It should. We'll do commerce first. So commerce. Good. Good. So he's a warrior. So carouse, athletics, coercion, athletics. Skill value of 40, base is 0. Got a bonus from strength stuff because, you know, it's Mr. Strength. Right? He's only got a 40 strength. Oh, demolition. By the agility characteristic. He has 35 agility. Not super impressive. Intelligence. Let's do athletics. Now, what's carouse do? Represents ability to resist negative effects applied by some poison, stimulators, or alcohol may give access to Oh, let's do that one. So you can drink more. Good. Good. He's still injured.
The world trembles beneath my feet.
Navigator's Sanctum. Here's a map of your void ship. It consists of several parts between which you can travel. Some parts are not yet available, but over time your character will be able to access them. Left click to go where you want to go. That's where we're going.
Powers unseen,
The Navigator's Sanctum is directly along the passage. I pray to the God Emperor that we are not too late.
Dira.
And so, he will enter the halls of the blinded guide and witness the radiance of the final dawn through the cracks and fall victim to a whim of fate.
The woman before you whips around and gazes straight at you, her eyes glowing with otherworldly light.
Master, watch your head. Idira, would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once? That was too close.
He grumbles as he dusts himself off and grips his weapon again.
Sorry, old man. The voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abelard, how they sing!
So she's crazy.
This is Idira Tlas, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valensis. Idira?
I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate. To die in the waves of the Immaterium, fall under the burning rays of the final dawn. And in the roaring blaze, I see a figure standing. Who is it? I have no answer.
Entity in your consciousness shrinks and crawls in deeper, its claws scraping against the walls of your mind, as if this presence is trying to hide from the seer standing before you. A diviner, are you?
Hey, bag of water. It is time to take a break. Go stretch your legs. Your next break is in 1 hour.
But I am patient. I know how to listen and discern. But now, with this clamor around me. Too many voices, too loud. And you, Fawn Valancius, are a sorcerer too, just like the other one. Lady Theodora must have grown so fond of psychers she wants one to replace her.
Yeah, you hear if you click on the relays of the servo skull, which has followed you all the way here, and Theodora's scrambled words give way to a voice vaguely familiar to you. Officer's frequency, to all who can hear me. Those with a weapon in their hands are to gather on the officer's deck at once. I repeat, gather on the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack.
That's Edelthrat. Oh, Emperor's Providence. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to...
Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, Lady Theodora's heirs won't be any good to us. If Edelthrat's like me and hasn't yet surrendered his mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold on a little longer without us.
Blast it. You're right. First, we need to deal with what is happening here.
How do you know who I am?
What? You think Lady Theodora didn't ask me to peek into the darkness behind the backs of those she sees as her prospective heirs? I have seen you. I have seen the footsteps of your past and the wounds of your heart.
Thea's words dredge up something dark and frightening from the depths of your memory. Your soul has been tainted by the influence of warp sorcery, and it seems you will never be rid of it. What are you doing here?
The whispers called me. The ones I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the enginarium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our master Cog, and the silence that followed.
What? You don't mean the Engineer Prime is...
Dead, without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the Navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we saved the Navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks.
Must see if the navigator is well.
Oh no. No. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity. But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there's a navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive.
For now. So, party controls. So, select multiple characters. Yeah. So, okay, so I'm gonna take a break. Need to get some legs, get some water, go check on the dogs, see what they're up to, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll be back shortly. Enjoy the dog video.